Hi guys, and welcome back here to Drone Emotion, a channel where we do drone videos and where we cover the most relevant drone news. Today my friends, we're back here once again with a brand new video and an extremely exciting one to say the least. And that is because it looks like the DJI Mini 3 is official. That is right. The first images have been leaked, and in today's video we're going to be sharing all of the images that we have as of so far with all of you. We're going to be talking about them, discussing the specs that this new DJI Mini 3 might have, as well as the possible pricing, as well as release date, guys. So today's video is going to be quite exciting, so you don't want to miss out on it. But before we get started with today's video, if you're new to the channel, welcome here, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button, because in this channel we'll always be the first ones to bring you the latest drone news. So if you want to be on top of the latest drones such as the DJI Mini 3 or the Mavic 3 or the Phantom 5 even possibly, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you can keep up to what's going on in the drone world. And also, we're in the road to 10,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel and you have not subscribed to it yet, go ahead and hit that subscribe button so that you can help us get to our 10,000 subscriber goal, which we're really not that far away from, guys. So with that being said, why don't we go ahead and dive right into today's video, which is going to be quite exciting to say the least. Well, today in the morning we woke up to some very exciting news and also a bit confusing, and that is because we got two images thanks to our guys over at DL's drone of what looked to be originally like the Mavic 3, but upon further analysis we were able to conclude that that was really not the Mavic 3 but rather the Mini 3. That's right, guys. So why don't we go ahead and get started. Well, the Mini 2 was just launched literally like what, 7 months ago, and now we're already thinking about a Mini 3. Well, it looks like the Mini lineup is becoming a yearly thing. We've seen that since 2018 with the introduction of the original Mavic Mini, then 2019 with the Mini 2. So it only will make sense that this November or December we see a Mini 3 from DJI. So it really will not surprise me, and especially after we saw the competition getting tougher, such as with the FIMI X8 Mini, which is really not a really good drone, but they tried. But the Hobson Sino Mini Pro is going to be one of the DJI Mini 2 biggest competitor, and especially with the specs that it brings to the table, which are absolutely mind-blowing. And it looks like DJI was already getting prepared and they're ready to take the throne once again. So, and it looks like they're going to be doing that with the Mini 3. So why don't we go ahead, guys, and take a first look at what would possibly be the DJI Mini 3 right here in the screen. There we have it, guys. What do you think? Absolutely amazing. The first thing that we see is the shell of the drone. So definitely quite interesting, and the first thing that caught our eye is the fact that we have multiple bends all throughout the top shell of the drone. We have a really big bend in the top part of the drone, and also two more next to the DJI logo. Now, when we originally saw this image, a lot of people were saying that this was the Mavic 3, and although it could be the Mavic 3, we're really not that confident this is the Mavic 3, and that is because of the size of the shell. Just go ahead and take a look at it, guys. Someone is actually holding the shell with their hand, and look at it, guys. It's really not that big. It's actually quite short, and the width is not really that big. So keep in mind that the Mavic 2 Pro is a really big drone, so it really doesn't match up to what we've seen with the Mavic lineup. So definitely this is going to be an extremely small drone. So that will make no sense for DJI to launch a drone that's smaller than an air drone and just name it the Mavic 3 Pro. I think that makes no sense. And also, Ossit LB is extremely confident, and in fact he said the following. Let's go ahead and take a look at his tweet. He said that after looking at the leaked image, it seemed like Mini 3 or Mini 2S is on the way, I guess. So that is what Osita LB had to say. So we got two pictures, the one that we already saw, which is the top shell, and then the one that looks to be like the underbelly of the drone. So that's going to be where the battery is going to be going. Now, he also said the following: it's just slightly bigger than an iPhone 12 Pro Max. That is too small for a Mavic 3, and I think that I agree with him. I think that the shell that we just saw is too small for it to be the Mavic 3 shell. So I really don't think it is just the Mavic 3, just because of how small it actually is. Now, and also there are also another hint factors over here, and that is that a couple weeks back we got some drawings of what was the Mavic 3, but now after looking at this, I'm pretty confident that was really the Mini 3. So let's go ahead and take a look at those images right here on the screen, guys. So the first thing that we can see is that there are no side or upward sensors, or also backward sensors, and that is really surprising. And I really don't think that DJI will launch a Mavic 3 with no 360-degree obstacle avoidance. So that really makes no sense. So definitely, I think that is one of the giving factors that this is really not the Mavic 3. So we have no sensors either in the back, sides, or on the top, but rather we got those bends. Now it looks like the battery will be inserted from the back, just like what the DJI Mini 2 and Mini 1 do. So that's also pretty interesting, guys. Now let's go ahead and talk about what else we have. So we did got an image from a couple weeks back saying that it was the Mavic 3, another image, and that was a sketch that someone made of what they claimed was the Mavic 3. Now let's go ahead and take a look at that image that was brought to us thanks by the guys over at Drone Excel right here on the screen, guys. Now what is quite interesting is that we do see forward obstacle avoidance, which is what a lot of people have been asking on the DJI Mini 2, but we don't see upward or side obstacle avoidance, which is quite weird for the Mavic 3, right? So now what is quite strange is that we see a pretty beef and chunky camera. It looks to be like a shrunk down version of the Zenmuse camera that we find right here on the Inspire 2 lineup. So definitely, I don't know what's going on there. So definitely quite interesting. Now, I think that it's safe to say, after saying this and looking at what Osita LB also has to say, which he has a lot of experience in and he's a pretty reliable source, he's really confident that that is the Mini 3 in fact, and not the Mavic 3. Now let's go ahead and talk about pricing. What pricing could we expect to see with the DJI Mini 3? Definitely do expect to see a little jump in price from what we find on the previous DJI Mini 2, and we've seen that DJI have been increasing their price with the launch of every new product that they've been doing. Now in the previous DJI Mini 1, it had a price tag of $399 for the base model. Then the Mini 2 came out with a price tag of $449. So I think it will only make sense for us to see the Mini 3 priced at around $499. So I think that will be a pretty good price, and I think that's the one that makes the most sense. Now I want to go ahead and talk about what specs could we be seeing with the DJI Mini 3. I think that definitely we will expect to see a longer flight time. I think there's no doubt about that. Definitely we need to see a longer flight time in order to beat, or at least be equal to what we find on the Hobson Sino Mini Pro, which has a flight time of 40 minutes. Also, active track, it's a must. We need to see active track. Obstacle avoidance was what a lot of people were asking for, and it looks like this is going to be delivering that in the form of obstacle avoidance in the front. It looks like we're not going to be getting obstacle avoidance in the back. That's at least we get forward obstacle avoidance. Now I would expect to see a bigger sensor. Hopefully we get the sensor that we find on the Osmo Pocket 2, which is a 1/1.7 inch sensor, which is a bit bigger than what we find on the previous Mini 2 sensor, which is a 1/2.3 inch sensor, and definitely that would mean that we get a higher resolution. So hopefully we get images of 64 megapixel, because that is what the Osmo Pocket is able to shoot. Now, better resolution, I will expect to see somewhere around 4K 60. I think that will make a lot of sense, and I think that will be right on point. Also, I would like to see hyperlapse, although I don't think that DJI is going to be adding that. I think they're going to be leaving that for the mid-tier and high-tier level drones. Also, Ocusen 3 I think that's definitely a good possibility with a range of 12 kilometers. I think that could definitely be happening. But guys, it looks like the DJI Mini 3 is actually official, and that it might be coming out relatively soon. So as soon as we have any more new info leaks or anything regarding the DJI Mini 3, don't worry, we're gonna keep you updated. And in case this is not the DJI Mini 3, but in fact an extremely small Mavic 3, we will let you know. Don't need to worry about it. So if you don't want to miss out on the latest drone news, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll keep you updated with the latest drone news. That's gonna wrap up today's video. Thanks for watching, and see you tomorrow with a brand new video. Drone Emotion signing out.